Hi boys and girls. Today in art you're going to have a choice of two centers. Half of you will be at the iPad table working on the MakeFlake app, and some of you will be at a table working on a fun little winter landscape that you can take with you as you leave today. I'm going to show you how to create your landscape, and then we'll get going. We want to first start by putting your name in E2 or F2 or FP2 or whatever your class code is on the back of your paper. So go ahead and do that first with a pencil. Then you're going to choose one of these brightly painted colored papers that we used for our landscapes, and you want to make sure that the painted side is up. We're going to fold it in half so the painted side is on the inside. I'm sure you've heard the concept of the line of symmetry in math class. We're going to talk a little bit about the line of symmetry in art class because we're going to be making a symmetrical tree. Half of these, you notice that the trees, if you draw a line down the center, there's a mirror image on either side because these are symmetrical. So we're going to be creating a symmetrical tree. We're going to fold our paper in half, and you want to start your drawing at the folded side. The tip of the tree or the top of the tree will start out here, and then your tree will come out toward the edge, just like that. If you want to create a tree that has more of a jagged edge, all you have to do is kind of change that line into maybe a little bit of a zigzag line as it comes out like that. You can make your tree larger, smaller. I try to use most of the paper. And when you're cutting, try to cut on those lines. And of course, if your scraps are tiny, you can go ahead and throw those in the recycle bin. If you have a large scrap and you have a lot left over, you can always put it back into the box. So now I've got this beautiful symmetrical tree. Same on both sides. The next thing would be to take some of that painted paper, the brown painted paper, and again, it looks like a nice little texture of the bark, the tree bark, and we're going to add that to the bottom. Now when we glue these on the paper, remember, you only want to use just a tiny bit of glue, so we do that dot, dot, not a lot. You're opening up your glue bottles just by twisting the cap, just by twisting just the pointed part of the lid, not the whole cap. And you're just going to put some small dots. I like to try to put my trunk down first and then add the tree so that part of the green tree can kind of overlap. And I just put a few dots around the edges. You don't have to put the glue in the center. And I'm going to go ahead and press down. If you put too much glue, it'll start to ooze out, so be careful not to put too much. You can also flip it over and give it a rub on the back to make sure that all those edges stay flat. The next thing you want to do is make a choice for your ground, your snowy ground. And on the table, you're going to see that there's a container of some scraps of music paper. And there's also a container of paint and some sponges. So your choice, you can do one or the other. Some students chose to do both. So I'm going to show you how that works. If you choose your music paper, you want to make sure that you just take a couple pieces that you like, kind of lay them out where you'd like them to go. Make sure that they'll cover the ground. It's always fun to overlap some of those pieces. And you'll just put your glue on the back and then stick it down. And again, press down and rub. If you want to instead use the white paint, you would take a little tiny sponge. We keep the dark green side up. That's the side that you would hold. And then a little bit of paint on the yellow part. And remember, we are printing, we're tapping. We're not painting and smearing. We're just going to tap it on the bottom. Probably one dip would be plenty to just press those down. And if you want to do both, again, you can go ahead and add a little bit of that music paper in there if you'd like. Just a little bit of glue on the back. You can even add a little bit of paint to kind of overlap some of those pieces if you want. And then for final thing, for the final little step, if you want to add a little bit of snow coming down, again, we're just printing with our pinkies, just like we did in our landscapes. And you would just do one tiny pinky dip to go ahead and add as much snow as you want. Maybe you just want a couple flakes falling, maybe you want a blizzard, up to you. Have some fun today, and these are yours to take with you on your way out.